A warm welcome to your Barbados Today Evening News Update for Monday, June 14th. Government is looking at all options to address high fuel prices. Energy Minister KERRIE SYMMONDS gave this assurance today amid public outcry about fuel costs at the pumps. Over the weekend, one activist urged Barbadians to protest the high prices by just filling up with 1 litre of petrol. Minister Symmons says while government is aware of the pressure on consumers, there's no escaping the surge in global prices.
The evidence, and I want to stress this, the evidence before us does not point generally in the direction of people acting in a malicious way, as in a wicked way in Barbados. The evidence largely points to the fact that this country, as with almost every other country on planet Earth, is facing an extremely serious situation insofar as surges of prices are concerned. Once you're talking about product that is imported, then you are talking about price surges. And that applies across the board, from mighty United States of America right down to little Barbados. If you watch CNN News or watch BBC News, you're seeing the same concerns being articulated. I appreciate that people would want to express their own individual concern as it hits them in the pocket. I caution them to apply the best possible analyses and prudence in their decision making. Frankly, I will not spend my time driving from gas station to gas station just to replace a liter of fuel. That is a nonsense. There is proof to the fact that the prices have surged. The government is conscious of it and looking at all options.
He says while government seeks a solution to the problem, Barbadians should consider reducing their driving.
The government moved road taxes away from the pocket of the consumer and shifted a lot of the tax structure onto the petrol pump. Now, if you had to pay, let's say, $1,000 in road tax or $1,500 in road tax, then obviously you can't avoid that, or you're on the road illegally. But you have some control at the petrol pump. You can wherever possible limit the amount of driving about you do on a weekend or at night or whatever, so that there's an element of control to manage this situation in the hands of people which did not previously exist.
As Barbados prepares to join the rest of the globe to mark World Elder Abuse Awareness Day on Tuesday, retired social worker and coordinator of the Elder Care Companion Program, George Griffith, says elder abuse here is big enough of a problem for Barbadians to be concerned and take action to prevent it. Speaking on Sunday's edition of One-on-One, hosted by the Public Affairs Department, he said there are cases of physical, sexual, financial, and emotional abuse of the elderly, but they are sometimes difficult to detect.
Some family members might take decisions that directly affect this person without even consulting them. We know of, and this is not a majority of cases, but we know that there are some situations where an elderly person is said, oh, we're going for a drive, or we're going to visit this place and the next place. And next thing you know, you turn up at a nursing home with them. And to me, you couldn't want a more grievous sin than that. So, as well as managing the person's resources. And this is a very galling kind of issue, where a person is entitled to a pension, work many long years for a pension. And then someone will either force them, or with the best will in the world, the senior person will say to them, but I cannot get to the post office. I do not have a bank account to put the money there. In any case, I can't get to the bank. But I want you to bring the necessary form, and I will sign off on this, that you will collect my check, and you bring that check to me. There are instances where the elderly person does not see the money that is generated.
He also spoke against physical abuse and neglect and urged Barbadians to pay greater attention to the elderly. Griffith also believes that government's Elder Care Companion Program can help to reduce the problem.
We have the opportunity to not only bring this social stimulation, but also to spend time with persons and remind them that age does not mean that you are not to exercise your fundamental rights and freedoms. So these are some of the issues that we experience with the abuse.
In other news, only one positive COVID-19 case was recorded on Sunday. A man was identified from among the 300 tests conducted by the Besta Santos Public Health Laboratory. There are currently 17 people in isolation. Barbados has recorded 4,037 confirmed cases of COVID-19 since the start of the pandemic in March 2020. Thus far, the virus has claimed 47 lives. The Public Health Lab has to date carried out 176,862 tests. Under the National Vaccination Program for COVID-19, 88,033 first doses of the vaccine have been administered. The number of people who have received second doses and are fully vaccinated is 62,267.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional news in Jamaica, the 5-year-old boy who was attacked by dogs last month is on the road to recovery. Shamala Pullin of Television Jamaica has the update.
The scars on 5-year-old Mikhail Allen serve as a constant reminder of that fateful day in November last year when he was attacked by a pack of dogs. For his loved ones, his recovery is nothing short of a miracle. So severe were his wounds, the 5-year-old had to undergo emergency surgery overseas. It has been a little over 4 months, and his mother says he's been progressing well.
We came back the 5th of January, and he's supposed to go to Bustamante Children's Hospital there, and like every month for a checkup. But he went like 3 months already. So when under his last visit, he got 3 months instead because he's coming on so fine, nothing to worry about, nothing like to be alarmed. He's just fine. So God is good.
But here's the problem.
When I saw Mikhail's face there, where right over his eye, when I asked the surgeon, he's saying that he took the tissues from there to cover the head. But the concern I have, the hair is growing there. And I asked him, can I cut it? He said no. But I'm so concerned about it. He said like I'm not supposed to trim him either. I want to, you understand, make him have a facelift, but if I can't, I just can't.
Shireen Greenley says her son is also longing for an heir.
The surgeon said he's going to take a rib from the side to make his ear. But now he is so concerned because he's asking, Mommy, can I have one of your ears? So I'm saying to myself, that being a bother to him. First I was saying, well, he's not concerned about it. But now I'm complaining because he need an ear. He's saying he need one of my ears. So I don't know if it is getting to him now or whatever.
She's worried that her son's physical features could be affecting him psychologically, pointing to aggression and lack of interest in schoolwork as some of the signs.
On the international scene, as Britain delays its lockdown until July 15, a leading expert in global health says the Delta variant, first found in India, is having a huge impact on vaccine effectiveness in the UK. Dr. Michael Head, a senior research fellow in global health at the University of Southampton, has been assessing the situation with Euronews.
Most experts would agree that it makes sense to delay the reopening of our society for a few weeks. You did mention that our vaccine program is very advanced, but there are still many people who are unprotected, who have not yet received one dose of a vaccine. That's about 25% of our adult population. And also about another 25% have only received one out of their 2 doses so far. Now, this new variant has a huge impact upon vaccine effectiveness. It still protects very well against severe disease, so against hospitalizations and deaths. But one dose of the vaccine only gives you about 30% protection. 2 doses is between 60 to 80%. So the vaccines are still very good, but this variant has had an impact upon the vaccine. So it makes sense to keep cases as low as we can until that vaccination program is much more advanced.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.